I didn't hear no bell.
Well, the Yankees just won their first World Series game in 15 years. It seems like the mindset right now is, I ain't hear no bell. What's going on, guys? It's the King of 161st Street. I'm back with another video, and what a fucking game from the Bronx Bombers. This is what we've been waiting for all series. It's been bad Judge, bad Wells, bad base running, bad fielding, all series long, causing the 3-0 deficit. Today, we did not get any horrible defensive plays. Today, we got only a couple bad base running plays that ended up not costing us in the end, and we were able to come through when it mattered. Starting off with Anthony Volpe. What can we say about Anthony fucking Volpe? Started off this postseason on a tear. Came into the World Series getting on base in every single game. The World Series, just like most of the Yankees, he's been struggling. Hasn't been able to find a rhythm against these Dodger pitchers. Well, today, he was able to get a walk in the first, stole second base with Austin Wells at the plate. Austin Wells hits a double, and we'll come back to Austin Wells in a little bit. Anthony Volpe makes a big base running mistake here, going back to second base thinking the ball was caught when it hit the top of the wall. He wasn't able to score. Yeah, he comes in after that, but at that point, Austin Wells could have gotten a triple. He was already at second by the time Volpe touched. There was a possibility Austin Wells could have gotten a triple there. So yes, bad base running mistake, costed us a run because Alex Verdugo is able to drive in Volpe. If that at bat happens the same way with Volpe going right away and Wells is able to be on third, it's a tie game at that point. But don't worry, he comes up again. This time with the bases loaded. First pitch he sees, slider middle down. He does not fucking miss it. This is my fucking shortstop. That right there is my shortstop. All the ridicule all year. All year he's been in between. Do I have to hit for power? Oh, do I have to hit for contact? Early on, started off with like a 5-game hitting streak. Hit 330 for the first part of the season. Then goes on his slump because he's trying to hit for more power. Trying to get that OPS up. The approach for most of the postseason for Anthony Volpe has been the perfect approach we've needed from him. See ball, hit ball. Don't worry about whether you're hitting for power or if you're hitting for contact. And a lot of points in this World Series, like most of the Yankee hitters, Anthony Volpe has been pressing and pressing, trying to figure out how to help this team come back because the Dodgers had us against the ropes. Of course, there's going to be a ton of pressure on these guys to fucking step up. Finally, down 0-3, it felt like the Yankees kind of took an exhale. Not as like a relaxed exhale, but more the damage is already done. It's on the Dodgers to win this last game. We just got to go out there and try our best. And that's the approach I saw from Anthony Volpe. And that approach led to huge results. Finally stepping up with runners in scoring position. And then another guy who stepped up big time, Austin Wells. Austin Wells has been the worst hitter in the entire postseason. 4 for 49. Not putting up really much of a fight. His at-bat started to look sorry. Behind on every fastball, in front of every curveball, he could not get a rhythm. Well, today, he saw the fastball really well, and he was able to smoke it twice. Could have had 2 home runs. The ball with Volpe making the bad base running decision hits the tippity top of the wall. And if that ball gets out, we're not even having the conversation about Anthony Volpe. Then he comes up against Landon Knack, a guy who, in the regular season, looked like a very talented young pitcher. In the postseason, has not had that type of success. He turns around a fastball above the zone. What I saw the best Austin Wells here, his swing looked a lot more flat. There wasn't as much of an uppercut. And that tells me he was basically under the same mentality that Volpe was. With the flatter swing, he's not looking for power. He's generating that power just based off of what the pitcher's giving him. What he was doing was making sure he can catch up. That's the proper approach for Austin Wells. This was a great performance. We saw Aaron Judge. He looked better at the plate. He got a single at the end, and hopefully that gets him going. But overall in this game, his takes looked better. He was able to take his walks when he could. He looked like what he used to look like when breaking out of his slump. The sliders were not fooling him as much. He was able to put up good, healthy hacks at the fastball. Still a little behind, but overall looked pretty darn good against the fastball. Overall, I'm hoping that helps us leading into Game 5. Going to the pitching side of things, Luis Gil started the game, and his stat line doesn't do him justice. He's giving up 4 runs in less than 5 innings. Can you tell me how the hell to get Freddie Freeman out? Because I'm telling you right now, he is pissing me off, and most Yankees fans off, with his first inning home runs. What the fuck is this? At this point, this series comes down to, can you get Freddie Freeman out in the first inning? If you could get him out in the first inning, and then he doesn't come up in the bottom of the 9th, you can win the series. But if he comes up in the top of the first, and you give him a hanging slider or a hanging cutter, he'll make you pay, and that will give the Dodgers the jolt they need. I am so confused on how he went from half a person to the Freddie Freeman we know in 1 week. This is 1 week since he was limping all over the field. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, Luis Gil's fastball looked good. Obviously, there were a few control issues at times, but the big thing he did today, he did not walk a batter till his last batter. The last batter of the game he walks. Other than that, he had a couple strikeouts, pitched more to contact, but overall, he looked good. That was the best start we got out of a starting pitcher since Game 1. So props to the rookie, keeping us in this game and keeping us in this series. Out of the bullpen, Clay Holmes looked really good. You had Mark Leiter, that looked pretty good, throwing that curveball staying a bit up, and that's going to have to change at times, but he mixed his velocities very well. He was able to get these hitters off balanced, and that's the way Mark Leiter likes to pitch. His splitter looked nasty. He threw that to Freddie Freeman, getting him to strike out. Luke Weaver comes in and he still looks dominant. His fastball looks nasty. His cutter to go off of it, it's a deadly combination. His changeup as well, still looking good. Luke Weaver becoming the biggest weapon in the bullpen out of anyone in this series after we've seen some troubles from Blake Trinan over the first couple games. Overall, this was a huge game for the New York Yankees. A lot of guys that the Yankees needed to step up did step up. You had, like I brought up, Volpe did not look great, hits the grand slam. Austin Wells, worst hitter in the postseason, hits a home run and a double. Even Gleyber Torres at times was not looking great, swinging first pitch every time, not really getting the production, even though he's swinging at pretty good pitches. He was able to hit the dagger of this game by getting the 3-run homer in the 8th inning. This is the type of game that can swing momentum. Now, the big thing you will say is the Dodgers had a bullpen game going, and they did not use most of their high leverage guys to get out of it. In the bottom of the 8th, they really let Brett Honeywell Jr. really die out there. I really think Dave Roberts screwed that kid's confidence. Basically the way Aaron Boone did to Clark Schmidt for the first couple years of his career. 2020 game in Buffalo, where he just let Clark Schmidt go with bases loaded, no outs, giving up like 8 fucking runs. Basically, Dave Roberts did the same thing to Brent Honeywell Jr., but this time it's in the fucking World Series. The Dodgers did not use their high leverage guys. They got Jack Flaherty on the mound for tomorrow. Hopefully, Garrett Cole is able to have a vintage start. If we can force this series to go back to LA, that would be a huge sign that we are still heavily in this series. Forcing a Game 6 throws all the pressure onto LA. We need to jump on Flaherty early, jump on Flaherty often. At this point, all the pressure's on them. Like I said before, the Yankees did the damage already. The damage is already done. We're down 3-0. We lose a game, we're done. The Dodgers now have the challenge of finding a way to get that game. As long as the Yankees stay stubborn and just play their fucking game, anything can happen here. I'm glad that I was able to see a conscious World Series win at this point in my life. Hopefully we could get a little bit of a comeback here. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. New here, hit that sub button. I'll be back tomorrow for the recap. Take care. Peace.